no.
What's up, Eurovision people? My name is Sean, and on my channel, I talk about all things Eurovision. And today is our first live stream from this EuroBUZZ series, where we will be talking about the songs in each semi-final half by half. With me are the usual faces that I like to have on my screen. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Yes,
Yeah,
of
why not?
course. I'm George, and you all know me. I'm from Italy, and below me is.
Hi, I'm Becca and I'm from Malta. Hi, guys.
She is back by popular
I'm
demand. How
back.
was
Yeah.
Australia?
Oh, it was fantastic. If I'm suntanned, it's because of that. Do I look
You are
suntanned?
very,
You
very
do.
suntanned.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have two semifinals and we have running orders. We got them very early. I was hoping that we would get them before these live streams because we will be talking about them. We'll be talking about the songs in running order. I'm gonna say hello to Colin. Looking forward to hear
Oh,
your thoughts. We are
oh
looking
wait,
forward to
here for
hear
us.
yours too. And if you guys want to interact with us in the live chat, please do so, and we will be shouting you out. And before we start, don't forget to subscribe to my channel below. I have lots more live streams, lots more content coming for you. Come and subscribe. You will not regret it if you love Eurovision, because so do we, right?
Yes, we do.
Cool. So, semi-final one. This is the strongest semi-final, right?
For sure, hands down. Hands down.
Correct.
What do we think of the running order in general?
I personally have no complaints. I know that you, Sean, do, but it's only 15 songs, so the running order doesn't matter that much.
Bex?
I mean, it's not too bad. I mean, I know that Malta is in the second place, which is not really the most favorite place to be in, but I mean, it's starting with Norway and ending with Finland, so I think they're very good songs to start with and actually finish the first semi-final. Hmm,
Yeah, I
quite
think
good.
ending with Finland is probably the best thing ever.
We all
I wanted
expected
them
it.
to end with Finland,
Yeah.
but
It was expected, like everybody
it
had
was.
predicted.
I mean, it seemed the natural thing to do. I never know what to expect from the EBU's running order because sometimes it can be really predictable to the point that sometimes they're just so petty. And I do think
Mhm.
this year they were petty, but we're gonna
They were
talk
petty
about
with Armenia, though,
they were petty with more countries, I would say, but
especially with
we're gonna get
Armenia.
to that
Like
one
Armenia
by
was
one.
number 1 in the odds for the semifinal, and they put them number 2 anyway, and it makes me laugh. I like the song, but it's just funny.
It is. Um, and I do think, me personally, I would have opened with Malta. I would have opened with Malta. I think this year, people are ready for a party. I think that could have started us out. And I also say this because if we had opened with Malta, I think we would have seen Malta in the final. But we're not living in that reality. So let's kick it off. We're starting with Norway. Giorgio.
It's a song that I really, really like. Not because she's Italian, she lived here for 20 years, she has an Italian last name and everything, but also because I would say it's cool. She performs very well. She even makes whistle notes. She has an intro in Latin, so it's camp, but not in an uncool way. Like, she makes it entertaining while also retaining a lot of commercial value. So it's a very interesting entry, and I'm not surprised that it's so commercially successful. I think that it will do very well in the semifinal, and it's a locked top 10 for the final as well.
Plain and simple. Bex.
I love this song and I want to see the song go to the final and I believe it will qualify to the final. As
Oh, it's
George was
going to.
saying, it's very
No question.
commercial. I mean, I like the beat. She knows how to sing. I mean, even though I don't really understand in singing, but I feel that she can actually really sing. So I really, really like this song.
I started out by not liking this song at all. I think in the final of Melody Grand Prix, it was like my number 8 from 9 songs. I always thought there was a bit of an arrogance to it, and I think the way it was staged is really plain as Nordic laziness. Um, but then it became a viral hit, and the fandom loves this song.
Mhm.
And this year I don't want to be in that place where I am fiercely opposing the success of a song. I get it that it's a good song. I respect that it's a good song. People love it. It will do well, but still I don't like it, and I don't have to. You know, um, it's predictable that it's opening because the EBU seem to want to have these, female powerful women opening the shows. Last year we had Ronella. The year before we had Zenit. Different songs, but it's always, a woman who has a presence, seemingly. Um, this is qualifying, yes. Probably top 10. Why not? But just to challenge your argument of the top 10, George, I think could this have peaked too early in the charts or these things?
You can say the same about Loreen, but I don't believe that that really affects anything. Okay, there is hype now for both of them, but come the time of the contest, first of all, the juries won't care, and they are still half of the result in the final. And second, yeah, some people might be like, I've already heard this one, next. But other people will be like, ooh, I already know this one, let me vote for it. Which is exactly what happened to me in 2013, by the way. I only knew Denmark come the final, and I voted for it. So this
Yeah, well,
might also exist.
on that, that's why I would not have opened with Norway personally. I expected them to open with Norway, but I wouldn't have put it first because if this is probably one of the songs that people know of the most coming into
Yeah,
the
but
contest,
Sean, you have to
make
consider
them
one
wait
thing.
for it.
You have to consider one thing. They opened both semifinals with TikTok songs.
Exactly, yeah.
That's
They
the
do.
purpose. That's the purpose. They
They
want
do.
people perched from the first moment. They want people to turn on TV from the get go. They don't want people to tune in after 3 songs. So it was a good strategy, and I understand it.
I mean, tuning in now or 10 minutes later, you're still tuning in. Who
But people
cares?
will watch Norway and then also Malta instead of starting with Latvia. I don't know.
I
Yeah.
would have started with Malta, but yeah, no, I get it. I get it. Yeah, this is qualifying. Some people think it will win. Do we think it will
No.
win?
It
No,
needed more
no.
hype. It needs more hype,
Hmm.
more fabricated hype to win. But she's
I
going to
would
have an
love.
excellent result, in my opinion. A balanced jury and televote result.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so too, but it won't win. No.
I would love to. I would love for them to completely change up the staging. Like, I don't like that dark kind of with those glow sticks that are never in sync. I would go like full on. For some reason, this song gives me like Game of Thrones vibes.
Or
Like I
like the
want them to.
Viking vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, like more Game of Thrones. Like I want them to enter with her on like a ledge, and she'll be like, "She, Queen of the Kings." Da 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 dum.
That
Like
would be cool. But it's
go
Scandinavia,
there.
they never change stagings.
No, man, they're so lazy,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
why I'm resisting this product in general also because it's so. Even if we like it, let's agree that it's a good song, but the way it's being presented to me is generic at the end of the day. But it's a song that matters. Moving on to Malta. I
Oh,
need to call so one of you starts. Bex.
our beautiful home country. um, I'm not a big fan of this song. I know, I mean, like the Baskarak, they, I mean, I know like it's very popular with Malta, it's just I'm not a very big fan of this song. Being placed in second place is not really doing any favor to to the Basker. So personally, I don't see them going to the final. Um, but I mean, they still have somehow a decent song. It's definitely not my favorite. I mean, I listened to it more than once just to really try and actually do my part being Maltese. Um, but just it didn't click with me. I'm sorry, the busker, but just it didn't.
Um, I disagree that it's not qualifying. I think it's actually qualifying for the final.
You
I
think it
mean,
will?
yeah, I mean, okay, it's second in the running order, but who cares? It's only 15 songs. And it
Yeah, it
stands
will.
out. nobody steals any audience from them. They're pretty unique with their vibes in this semifinal. They are the ones who are getting the dorky votes, if it makes sense. And they do look professional at the same time. So they kind of look like a homegrown band that is not signed to a major label, which is actually the truth for them. But at the same time, they look very professional and very convincing. They have saxophones, which usually do well at Eurovision.
Mm-hmm.
One big exception, Latvia last year, but that one was
Any
just not cool. Like, that one was humor for people from 10 years ago. Let's admit it. This one, on the other hand, I think is just very cool. It's not one of my favorites, just like Beck said. I think it's like my number 33. But at the same time, I will be very, very happy if they qualified for the final. It will be a nice twist for Malta, which is usually seen as a one-trick pony country at Eurovision. Like, this one will prove that they can offer so much more, even from their indie music industry, without having to outsource to foreign songwriters. Like, I think this will be a great message to Television
No,
Malta.
it's very true. It's very true, yeah.
And for that reason, that's one of the 10,000 reasons I want this to qualify. I want the Maltese to have some faith in the song they picked themselves. This is big for Malta, and maybe many fans don't understand why. First of all, it's the first song ever to win the televote and not win the jury in the Maltese selection, and that is monumental over here, where for so many years we've had selections with like a 13% televote. This year we had a 50% televote, and the jury winner did not go to Eurovision, but it was the televote winner. That's number one. And
Who was
they
the jury winner?
landslided. What?
Who was the jury winner?
Matt Black.
Ooh, okay.
Secondly, I mean, they landslided the televote anyway. So
yeah.
Secondly, the Maltese people, I get this vibe that they are all unanimously supporting the busker, and we have not had this, for me, ever since Gianluca Bezzina. From what I see, no one liked anyone as much as they liked.
Not even EUROBUZZ?
No, because on EUROBUZZ there was a lot of talk about, like the expectation, and then the money being spent. So some people were losing their support because of that. Mm-hmm. Destiny might come as a surprise to many people, but many people in Malta don't like her. So yeah, every year we've had kind of mixed feelings in general in Malta. Maybe Michaela and Amber were the ones that top it off.
It's impossible not to like Michaela. Like, she was so cute.
Yeah, like Michaela and Amber were high on the busker's heels, but definitely the busker in the last 10, 11 years are the most loved in Malta. I met them this week. I have an interview and a reaction. They will be reacting to their own song with me in the video, and then we're going to have an interview in Maltese with English subtitles. You can check that out. It's coming tomorrow. And they are the most precious people ever. I swear to God. What you see is what you get. Literally, they are humble. They were exhausted. And they came. They came to film a reaction with this guy who has 700 subscribers. Like, how much of a good person do you have to be to do that? And what's really striking for me is that they, even on some things we don't agree. For instance, I asked them, listen, did you ever consider singing the song in Maltese? And we had like a nice debate on that. Not that I wanted dance to be sung in Maltese, but on the whole thing, we had a nice discussion, which you will see tomorrow. But long story short, I don't love the song, so much. Like, I'm a little bit with Becca on this one. It's my number 16 out of 37. It's not in my top 10. But I really, really want this for them. I'm biased because I'm Maltese. I know them now. And I really, really want this for them. I do think it can qualify. I feel very uncomfortable saying that it will, because when you want something so much, you feel very uncomfortable saying that it will. So I don't know. And the running order obviously doesn't help. But we can only hope.
Can I just say something? Can we take a moment for the first time. I think it's been a while since I've heard Sean actually promoting, like not promoting, but like investing into like a Maltese song. Like it's the first time I think in a long time. So let's like give her a hand clap. Yeah,
Thank you. I am what I am. I am what I am.
yeah.
But actually, I think that they are qualifying. I mean, as I argued,
On all
nobody's
that is
doing both
holy.
for
I
them.
pray on all that is holy.
And I think that there are five, like, pretty clear non-qualifiers in this semifinal anyway. Like, I
Okay.
think there is going to be a very nice gap between number 10 and number 11. But we
On
will see
all
that
that is
later,
holy. We will see that later. Just
next week
gonna
maybe.
touch upon the comments. Joanna tells us, isn't it unfair that the order is not,
I agree with you, Joanna.
I don't know what the word is, but I'm guessing it's the producer
Like
lettering order. I
random
agree as
draw.
well.
Yeah, it was like that until 2012, I think. Then in 2013, when it was hosted in Sweden, they changed the rule. I agree with Joanna saying that the order should be drawn randomly. So I can blame you, girl.
I agree as well. She likes Malta, makes me feel happy. It's a song that is what it is. Not trying to be pretentious. Yeah, yeah. I had this conversation with them as well. Like they're not tryhards, you know. They were compared to Subwoofer, to Sunstroke Project, to Citizeni, and they say we get okay, but we don't really compare ourselves to those guys because we are not trying to be humorous. We're not trying to be cool, and that's what I told them. Yeah, you
Yeah,
are
that's
cool.
why I
You
said they
just
have a
it's true.
dorky energy, but in a good way.
They
Colin
do actually,
tells
yeah.
us, with televote, it's only the running order will not be as usual. Malta song is so fun. It will get more televotes than boring flat songs. I hope so, Colin. I hope so. Moving on. Where is my banner? Sama Mrs. Pava.
Oh,
Who wants to
Serbia.
start?
Do I
George,
start?
you
Yeah.
go ahead.
It's another song that I don't really like. And from what we saw at the Serbian national final, he doesn't really have much of a stage presence either. He can barely whisper live, which is not a very good sign. He's like the male Selena Gomez, if I can make a comparison. But at the same time, he seems to be very convinced in his artistic direction. What? Yeah, I can hear you better than I did with him.
It's like ASMR.
Yeah, it's ASMR, but it's kind of annoying. Like when he says hello with this voice, I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
ew, like stay away from me. You know, I was actually disappointed that the song sounded like that. Like when I saw his pictures at first, I thought, wow, he's going to serve punk rock, you know, with that TikTok e-boy look. Then not only did he turn out to be kind of catfish, but also the sound was terrible. I mean, not terrible. The sound was just unexpected. You know, kind of when you eat something and you expect it to have a texture and then it has a completely different texture. Maybe you like it, but at first you're like shocked. So you're like, ooh, yeah. That was my reaction to this song. It's actually not too bad. It's like my number 28, I think. But at the same time, I don't really know how he can convey it live. I think he will qualify, especially because he has 24 free televotes from um, Switzerland and Croatia, which really helps when it's only 15 countries, 18 countries voting. But it could as well be a shock non-qualifier if the public doesn't get it. I don't think this will be the case, but you never know. That was it.
Bex, your country.
Um, um, it's been growing on me. Like I've been hearing it this past weeks, and like, I actually like don't mind it. I mean, it does remind me of Iceland 2019. I know Iceland 2019 was completely different. Just it does remind me like the way it starts. You know, like the
Industrial.
very industrial. Yeah. But it's starting to grow on me, and I think it will qualify to the final. I mean, I saw last week the competition that there was in the Serbia fight. I mean, the competition they have for them to be chosen, and I can say that there were definitely better songs than this one.
Tell them which
But
one was your favorite.
oh, Presidente.
Oh, my favorite as well.
Oh, I've been listening to that song non-stop this
No
week.
idea how it didn't qualify, honestly.
I know, I know.
It's the best one.
But I still believe it. Like this song will qualify. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think it's win.
it's Serbia.
It's exactly it's
They have
Serbia.
free televotes everywhere. Well, not everywhere,
Yeah,
but the whole region.
bitches.
I agree with you, George. I don't think this is a safe qualifier as much as some people are saying. I like this. I want this to qualify. I feel like lately I'm a little bit biased towards Serbia. I tend to like a lot of stuff that they do. Pesma za Eurovision was fantastic. Was this my favorite? No. Obviously, I did like Presidente. I loved Philip Balos's song without the
Oh,
staging.
I also love that one.
And Zaina, fantastic. No?
Yeah.
Zena,
Rum
which,
bum
which
boy, bum bum boy.
Oh yeah, that was a very good
And
song.
He
they
sounded
had
like he
great
was
songs.
about to faint.
I want to faint like that. No one would believe me. And obviously Prince, he was fantastic. They
And he
had
also won the
options.
televote.
Yeah, they had options. Um, to me, I don't know if I'm right on this, but I am sensing not that much hype in Serbia about this because the Serbian people, when they want to get behind an act, they will do so. We saw it last year with Constructa. We saw it with
Hurricane.
Hurricane. Thank you. I don't know, and it connects to the fact that this did not win the televote in Serbia. It came second, so that worries me a little bit. The running order is not great, and it is a difficult semi-final. I still think it will qualify,
I think it
but
will qualify like 8th or 7th.
yeah,
I think
but if
even
it
ninth.
doesn't,
Yeah, even. And
Even
I think
ninth.
that in the final he won't get any points from countries that are not like Slovenia, Croatia,
No, I don't think so. No.
Austria, Switzerland. Yeah, the same ones.
we don't have Macedonia this year. We don't have
We don't
Bulgaria,
have Macedonia. We don't. No, Bulgaria doesn't really vote for Serbia. We don't
Oh.
have Montenegro. We don't
Montenegro,
have.
of course. Yeah, I would not be surprised if this would be the shock round qualifier, but I hope it won't be. Moving on, Latvia, one of the underdog countries.
That's the safest non-qualifier of the semifinal. Like it's not competitive in any ways.
Nah. I don't like this song. Nah.
I don't like it either, but at the same time, I can also recognize that it's just not competitive at all. Southern Lights are really nice, but the song doesn't really go anywhere. To this date, I still can't remember the melody, which is not a good sign. And I don't have Alzheimer's.
Perfection.
Don't cry.
And even with your help, I still can remember it.
The right words
Yeah,
for
like
the right
it's not a
time.
song that you remember. Like you don't know how much you listen to.
Lullaby. Please.
It's still an ugly song.
Where is this in your top 37, Giorgio?
35.
Okay, I'm here to give it some love. I love this, but I always like what Latvia does. I don't know why. Maybe because
Really?
maybe because they've cemented themselves
Eurovision.
as an underdog country. I always give them a little bit more love than they actually deserve. This is my number 17. I really respect the quality of it. It's true, it's not the most competitive. It's not the most memorable song, but there is a lot of love for this in the fandom.
Yeah, in the fandom, just like with LPS last year.
No, it wasn't the same.
Yeah, it was even more with LPS, actually.
I don't think so, no. Are you crazy? No.
Were you not on Reddit last year? They were like crazy about LPS. They had convinced them that they would qualify.
Generally, like LPS was always considered as a non-qualifier, even if there was someone who liked it. This one, there are people who... No, I disagree. I think this is getting much more love.
Nah, this is coming last in the semifinal. I'm like sure about it.
For Latvia. But yeah, with regards to prediction, what do you actually think about the song, Bex? Because you don't like it, but I'm curious. Why don't you like it?
It's like because I've been listening like this past week because I've been actually like really listening to it, and it doesn't click. I mean, it's not a song that you remember. It's not a song. I feel like there's no beat to it. I feel like it's just a lifeless song. I mean, I know it's sad, but it's very lifeless for me. Like I can't seem to click to it. You know, I just can't.
I also don't like the vocals. Like I don't really like anything about it. Like it's
Do you
not
think
offensive to the
maybe?
ears. It's just unmemorable.
Do you think
It's
maybe
just
because
not.
it's not so loud, it might stand out between Serbia and Portugal?
But Serbia is not loud.
So Serbia can be a bit loud.
Dun, 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 dun. That's not loud.
But then I think that Portugal would definitely overtake Latvia, and then I
Yeah.
feel even Serbia would definitely overtake Latvia.
Yeah,
But
no, I
even if
agree.
Latvia
It's
was
not
the only
immediate.
song competing, nobody will remember it either. Like,
Yeah, unfortunately.
yeah,
It's not the most immediate song. It's true.
yeah.
I'm holding out a candle for Latvia, like I always do. Um, and again, we always talk about shock non-qualifiers, surprise qualifiers. This would be a surprise, but for me, it would be a very
For
welcome
sure.
surprise. When
Be
I
a
was
shock.
doing my predictions, I had my 10th spot between Malta and Latvia, and ultimately I gave it to Malta. But I wouldn't be surprised if Latvia qualified, but I would be delighted. I would
Hmm.
really, really be delighted.
Fair enough.
I already did my Excel file with all my predictions, like each country given their set of votes, and this one
How
really
many
came right.
points is this getting?
Like 8 or 10, I don't remember.
It could have been
Not too
zero.
bad.
No, I don't think there will be any zeros this year. Even San Marino is going to get like 1 from Albania.
You think so?
Yeah, from Albania, they're generous.
People are
We will
being
see.
generous nowadays. So,
We will
so
talk
it's-
about San Marino in 4 weeks. Portugal.
Oh, Portugal. Let's
I
hear
think
your version, Jean.
me, I love
Mm.
this. This is in my
Yeah,
top
I know.
five. I really, really like Festival da Canção in general, one of the strongest national finals this year. I think the bulk of this year's national final gems was in Iberia. And Portugal had options. Like they didn't even need to send Mimikat, but they did. I love the ethnic quality of this. And when I say ethnic, it's not drums and white voices. It's a song that if I close my eyes, I'm in the streets of Lisbon. I'm in the streets of Sintra. I'm in the streets of Porto. It's really really good. I like the sofa. Every time I see the sofa, I'm like, I want to buy one. I think it's well staged. I think it's well presented. Mimikat she can sing. She's a good vocalist. And every year, like this is being slept on a little bit. It's not even in the top 10 to qualify in the odds. Every year, there's a song that we sleep on with regards to the televote, and then it comfortably qualifies. Israel 2021, it was borderline, and then it came fifth in the televote. Last year, we had Olami Bebebe, Romania, and it came fifth in the televote. And I think, this is a much tougher semi-final maybe than what I'm comparing it to, but this, for me, is comfortably qualifying.
For
I
sure.
also think it's qualifying, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it stands out, it's unique. It's definitely going to find its own audience. Similar songs in European history haven't really done that well, but I do confide in Mimikat's stage presence and her quirkiness. I think it will pay off.
Mm. It's also a very catchy song. I mean, from the minute I've heard this song, I instantly liked it, and I can see like why like it will qualify. I definitely like this song, and I can see why actually people like. I think the first time that they will hear, it, they will like, oh, okay, like it's quite catchy. Like she has a very unique style, so yeah, I believe she can go through.
I would be really upset if it didn't, because lately Portugal has had success with songs in English, and this is fully in Portuguese. It's representative of the Portuguese culture,
Mhm.
and I would be really sad if this is the one song that doesn't qualify out of a bloodbath semi-final, because I don't want Portugal to go back to sending ballads that sometimes it's just them who likes. So Europe, I Curaçao. We're so quick today. I love it.
No.
Moving on. Are we one?
Yes, we are one united.
Kick us off.
Oh, I will. I mean, I'm a bit skeptical about this song. It's like I mean, it's okay-ish, if that's a word. No, I no, that's not a word. I mean, it's Ireland. Unfortunately, Ireland does not really, from me personally, it's like they always send like kind of not the lazy songs. It's just like the commercial songs, the TikTok kind of songs. And I feel like this one is definitely a TikTok song, which I'm not a TikTok fan, just right now. But
Is it a TikTok song?
I feel
No,
it is. Yeah.
it's a 2012 boy band song, and TikTok did not exist in 2012.
But I feel it is, and I don't think it will qualify. No,
Nah, no chance, no chance.
no.
It's not competitive. It's actually a pretty lame song. Like you see a boy, not even a boy band. It's actually a normal band with a singer and then other members playing instruments, and you don't really expect this type of Swedish mech song from them. Like they just don't really meet expectations. And the lead singer is kind of putting to me. He's like trying to be Harry Styles with that ugly outfits that he wears. Because let's
I
face
thought
it,
the exact same thing.
don't look
I thought
good.
the exact same thing.
I don't know. I feel like there's a huge mismatch between their image uh, and the song itself. It's just not a good package. Ireland doesn't seem to get it right lately.
No, no.
Yeah.
But I don't mind the
It,
song actually. It's actually nice. It's just pretty lame.
so where is it in your top 37?
Like 21, I think. Something like that. Or 23,
Not too
maybe.
bad.
Yeah.
Solid. Solid.
I mean, songs below like 16, I don't really like them. So,
Well, I can confirm that in our opinions on Ireland, we are one.
ooh.
Yeah, I never liked this so much, to be honest. I agree with Giorgio Taietti. I don't like the styling because it's so try hard. And more than Harry Styles, I feel like there is this mentality, this stereotype in English speaking Eurovision countries. There are only four, and it's in all four of them. That Eurovision, you have to be, glittery, you have to be camp, you have to bring out the sparkle, you have to show up. And I think they would never wear these outfits had it not been Eurovision. It's like, we're going to be at Eurovision, let's amp up the glitter. No, you're not singing a glittery song. You're not singing an anthem. Well, maybe it is an anthem, but
Yeah,
it's not. It doesn't make sense, with
that's
what they're
insane.
trying to wear, and I get really annoyed. Not so much, in the national final because then we got a revamp, but last week in Barcelona, he does this thing. Tonight we are like he just moves away, and you hear we are, and then you hear nothing. Like, why do you do this? Why do you do this?
Because you
It's
can't
like a
keep the
hollow
note.
vocal performance.
Yeah, he
What?
can keep the note. He can hold it.
But what a way to fix it. Like, what a
Christina
way to fix
Aguilera
it.
did it all the time. When she couldn't hit the note, she just moved it away from the mic.
But Christina Aguilera had millions of people singing with her, while
Yeah,
you do not have millions of people singing with them.
that's true.
I don't get it. It's so hollow. It's like you are, bringing a cake. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Becca. Happy birthday to, boom, throw it on the floor.
Or maybe the
Why?
cake is empty. It's like made of cardboard.
Maybe as well, but it's so annoying. Long story short, I don't think this is qualifying. The running order is not terrible. Like they do come a little bit late, but they're sandwiched between two songs that I think are definitely qualifying. Uh, yeah, this is a safe non-qualifier for me. The first one in this half that I will say, boom, it's not qualifying.
Sure, sure.
Moving on to the one that I just said I think it will. Mamma Pupilla Trattora.
Sure. It's my favorite from this
Mamma
semifinal. I'm voting for it.
Pupilla Trattora. Kick us
I,
off.
I'm giving it all my Italian votes because it's my favorite from this semifinal. Um, I didn't really think very much of it until I saw the live performance at Dora. And then I was really impressed. I was like, wow, they're truly dressed like dictators on stage. I mean, that's impressive. Like, And then I showed it to my best friend, and she was like, "Wow, I know who I'm voting for this year." So, like, the general public is definitely reacting to this song. So, I expect it to qualify comfortably, which is what Croatia needs. They haven't qualified since like 2017, I think. And it's very memorable, and I hope that they keep the dictator's gimmick for Eurovision stage. They make it clear, but at the same time, they don't break any rules. So they're actually smart. And they're known for being provocative in Croatia, so it will also fit their image that they've had for 34 years now. Yeah, 34 years of career, and still going strong.
Wow. Didn't know that. Wow.
Becca Copilla Traktora.
Um, Honestly, about the song, I mean, at first I
I'm
kind of I like.
terrified,
At first
cause
I
if
like.
there's
Shut up. I mean, at first I like it, but then I'm like, "Ugh." I do see it definitely qualifying, and I feel that people actually like this song because it is a kind of like mocking around like Putin and all that kind of shit. Um, and it does remind me of the early 2000s kind of Eurovision vibe, like they used to like go crazy on
Yeah,
stages, and
more
yeah, and
like
I hope like
2008.
2008, yeah, and I really hope that they bring the same kind of vibe back on the stage.
Ooh, I hope
I
so.
mean, even though I'm not a big fan of this song, but I would definitely like to see them going through, and I think the people would definitely like to see that this song going through, because like it's a kind of like making fun and then at the same time enjoying themselves. So we'll just yeah, they're qualifying.
The jury will absolutely crucify them in the final, but then
Yeah.
I think it would be something like 4 in 2016, like 7 points from the jury and then woo, 200 from the televote. And they will fly into the scoreboard highest,
Yeah.
which is
I go no finish
which
finish.
is which is better than having a high jury score and then the televote is like 21.
Absolutely.
Being loved by the public is better than being loved by 200 randos.
First time I saw this, I had the reaction that probably everyone else had. What the fuck? But definitely, I'm jumping on the train of the 2008 comparisons. This reminds me of
Yeah.
Let us
Oh,
vet.
that one was terrible
Um,
though.
it was, but this is maybe bigger
This
and
is a
makes more
good
of a
hair
statement.
crash.
This is more satirical, um, and I like it. I somehow wriggled it up to my top 20. I want to see this in the final because I do think that there are so many Gen Z people out there who do not know what the old Eurovision, what the old, not so old, 10, 20 years ago. They have no idea what the televote years were about. And they
And
were about
also many
fun.
nostalgics from those years as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those people will say, oh, this song is what Eurovision is trying to move away from. And
No.
Yeah,
that's what
nobody
the
thinks like
juries are
that.
trying to move away from,
Exactly.
but that's not what
Nobody thinks like
Eurovision.
that among the public. This is exactly what the public expects, actually.
Yeah.
Exactly. And this is what the public, I think, will vote for to see in the final. And like we've already said, I think this is going to do very, very well. Top 10 for sure. If what's his
Yeah.
name? Jacques Hodek could get top 10 in the televote, this is
Yeah,
this is coming higher.
they're
A part of me doesn't, I always say the juries absolutely cannot destroy such a televote gem so hard. Like it would be so embarrassing. But we've seen time and time again, including last year, that they don't mind being embarrassed apparently. So they will probably give this song a total of not
But
more than 10
Sean,
points.
you
Maybe
have
five.
to understand how jurors think, because they always vote based on
Do
what
they
is
think
expected. Yeah, they think, and they
I
vote
don't
for
think they
what
do.
is expected from a jury to vote for. So they usually go for ballots. I mean, we haven't had a jury winner that wasn't a ballot since Heroes in 2015. Like that makes you think. So this
Dummy
song,
Salvador?
Austria, Nobody But
Mm-hmm.
You, Proud,
Franken?
Proud.
Proud, proud.
Yeah. 2021 was John's Lips, and then last year was Spaceman. All ballads. Yeah, the juries are unidirectional in this way.
What
The
imagine
televote,
a final with all juries. What terrible winners we would have had.
we will just have 40 ballots every year because
Oh
ballots is all
God.
they vote for. Yeah, they will remove all the fun from Eurovision.
It's
Oh yeah,
interesting
they
we
would
bring up this
definitely.
post. Yeah, it's interesting we bring up this jury discussion because when it was announced that the televote was going to decide all the finalists, there were a lot of people who were not happy.
Oh, poor them, sucks for them.
Yeah.
To me, it makes complete sense that the people are the ones who single-handedly decide who they want to see again in the final, because otherwise there's going to be a situation like last year when Marius Bear was embarrassed with 0 points in the final. It wouldn't have happened if Albania, which was not any good either, but it would have had some
I
televotes.
was miles better,
Same thing with Cyprus and Azerbaijan. People wanted Cyprus in the final.
Hmm.
And
and the people
Azerbaijan
are
just
always
took a
right.
spot that nobody, like, people slept through Azerbaijan basically. So it
Yeah,
wasn't needed. So to me it makes
absolutely.
sense that the paying public is the one who decides who they want to see again in the final, and then in the final it can be balanced. But when it comes to the qualifiers, then it should be all in the hands of the people.
For sure.
I still think that it should all be in the hands of the people, even in the final, but we have to compromise.
Amen. I agree. I mean, I was thrilled. I was not expecting it because I always think that the EBU wants to maintain some sort of control over what songs are being rewarded in their show, essentially. So I was not expecting this decision back in November, but I was thrilled.
Hmm.
I remember. I think you texted me. You told me you had sent me the screenshot, and I told you, "Oh my God, we won!"
Yeah, I told you that. I told you that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was such an unexpected but joyous surprise
I'm an
because
obsessed jury hater, so
yeah, me too.
can't stand
I
them.
don't believe, especially after the events of last year, we needed Ronella in the
Hmm.
final. We needed Andromache in the final. Both
We didn't really
songs
need Ronella in the final, but if that's what the public wanted, then
we needed. Both songs were not performed well, not staged well, not vocally perfect, and still made it into the top 10 of the final, of the
but I
semi-final.
have to say something though, that if I remember correctly, Albania got like 42 points from the televote. 28 from them were from Italy and Switzerland and another country, I think Greece, that always votes for them, and they were actually like bottom two in all the other countries voting. So in that case, it was pure neighbor or diaspora voting.
I don't
So
care.
yeah.
I still love the song. It's top 10 in the
Yeah, amen
televote.
to that.
Yeah, I mean, yes, true. But we also have to think. Again, we can sit here and debacle on what could have been, but
What could have
if
been?
it was performed the way it needed to be, that song to me still reminds me of a Ruslana moment. It still reminds me of an early noughties sound that people love to bang their heads about. And I think, it was unfortunate. They made a lot of bad decisions on the staging, on what they focused on. And Ronella herself said it on an interview at Una Voce per San Marino. She said, "Yeah, last year I missed some spots,
She just
but
didn't listen to the Eurofans. We gave her a lot of advice. Don't change your song. Don't put English. Don't put Spanish. And yes, she did.
Hmm.
So she did it all herself. So she only has herself to blame. Because
yeah,
Eurofans might be deluded a lot of times, but we also know how things work. So yeah,
yeah." But you know what I mean? Like, still, with all of that, this year she would have qualified. Like, with all those mistakes, with the televote still wanted her in the final. So this
this year
actually
she will be
shows
in
for
semi
me
too.
the
She only has Greece voting
weakness
for her.
the weakness of the songs that qualified instead of her, because Azerbaijan performed perfectly, vocally flawless, staging was good. Even that, in its perfections, at its best, did much worse than
The
Ronella, who
zero.
did at worst. So that is why, again, the televote for me, we need to wave the flag of the televote, and I'm so glad this year we will be able to do that. Um, Of these 7 songs, again, I think we touched upon this already, but just for closing down, if there would be a one shock non-qualifier, who would it be?
Serbia.
I think that would be Portugal.
Ay, Curaçao.
Ay,
Yeah.
Curaçao.
Ay, Curaçao. Yeah,
And for you,
I'm gonna
Sean?
say Serbia. Serbia.
Serbia, yeah.
Serbia. I would
I,
love to be in a position to say Norway, but
I
that's not gonna
still
happen.
don't think we will get any shock non-qualifier. So at least according to my predictions, like I think Serbia will still qualify, and Ireland and what else? Latvia and other three that we will discuss next week are not going to make it. And there's going to be a nice gap between number 10 and number 11 as well. But if there has to be a shocker, then I think Serbia might fit. Yeah, if it doesn't, get through on stage, but it's unlikely.
On all that is holy. On all that is holy. And the shock non-qualifier?
We already said it.
A shock qualifier? A
Yeah.
surprise qualifier?
Among these ones, none of them. Like none of them will shock
Yeah,
me.
I don't think so, no.
For me, Malta would be a surprise. Like out of the
Oh.
top 10 in the odds, out of most fans' top 10s, I think Malta would be a surprise. It would be
Wait
a happy
for the
surprise.
rehearsals. It will be top 10 in the odds again.
On all that is holy.
I'm like
Sean shall be
100% sure about
praying
it.
every single day.
Yeah, like Becca said, I don't think I've ever been in the
No.
last few years so invested in a Maltese entry since Michaela. Because when
I
Michaela
think she's,
qualified,
yeah,
the
I think so.
neighbors of a friend of mine who we watched Eurovision at came to knock on our doors. Last comments. George, can understand your point of view, but is that then still Eurovision?
I need more context to answer this
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
I think she's referring to when you mentioned when you would want like just Eurovision to be only televoting, but then I think it would be better that they
But the comment is
compromise having jury.
it's from a minute ago, so don't know.
I don't know, but I think she's referring to that.
But it will still be Eurovision with only televote, indeed, because only people who are from the participating countries and abroad will get to vote. That's my answer.
We should not underestimate the role of the juries. Think because there are none that personally find this year has so little character and back to English pops. You see, Joanna, I disagree. I hear you, but I disagree. I think the televote has been coming for less generic songs and more native languages in the songs. So I think the televote will be rewarding that. And entries like, for instance, this year we can safely say, I know we're going to talk about this in the coming weeks, but for example, we can safely say that Moldova's qualifying. We would not have said it had there been
Very
a
safely.
jury. So I hear you, but I think actually because of the televote, it offers more variety. Guys, I'm gonna close this out short and sweet so that people can watch it back. Thank you so much for watching. We will be back every Friday from now until the week before rehearsals. So we will be discussing, yes, sir, we will be discussing a half of a semi-final every week. Obviously, next week is second half of semi-final 2.
No, semi-final 1.
Semi-final 1, second. I still have my ocean spray that is keeping me alive. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching, anyone who did, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.